Meditation, Gateway to Light. Dreams and visions resulting from meditation. The following questions asked of Edgar Cayce relate to the dreams, visions, and experiences of the first study group which practiced meditation. In a vision, I saw a loaf of whole wheat bread. One end was cut off so that the cells in the bread were very prominent. A great light shone from within the bread, illuminating every cell and reflecting a very large aura, which entirely surrounded the bread. Please interpret. This emblematical, as understood, stands for the essence of life itself and its self-force, showing forth in its activity that of the radiant life of him who gave. I am the bread of life. He that eateth me shall not hunger. And, as is visioned, that each makes for its own radiation that combined in one gives that full illumined life that brings understanding, and retains and builds, and gives truly the life everlasting. See? Am I beginning to see auras? Beginning to see auras. As life, light, and love, with understanding, is reflected in self, so may there be seen those of the same reflection from others. What is the significance of the flashes and forms which I frequently see? Those of the higher vibrations of interbetween, as well as spiritual forces taking forms in or before the mental self. Should I develop automatic handwriting? We would not advise it. Too easily is it misleading, especially when there are so many flashes about. Rather that of intuitive force, that may be guided by higher sources. While meditating, have experienced a perfect relaxation of the body, the head being drawn backward. Please explain. The nearer the body of an individual, or this, draws to that attunement, or consciousness, as was in the Christ consciousness, as is in the Christ consciousness, the nearer does the body, or that body, become a channel for life, living life, to others to whom the thought is directed. Hence, at such periods, these are the manifestations of the life, or the spirit, acting through the body. On several occasions while meditating with the group, there was a cool feeling as if mentholatum had been placed upon my head and forehead, extending down upon the nose. As would be termed, literal, as the breath of an angel, or the breath of a master. As the body attunes self, as has been given, it may be a channel where there may be even instant healing with the laying on of hands. The more often this occurs, the more power is there felt in the body, the forcefulness in the act or word. After meditating with the group on April 11th, my whole body seemed to be vibrating to the thought that I had opened my heart to the unseen forces that surround the throne of grace, and beauty, and might, and throwing about self that protection that is found in the thoughts of him. Please explain. Just as has been given, the nearer one, a body, this body, draws to that complete consciousness that is in him, the greater may be the power that is manifested through his presence in the world through that as is brought about in self's own experience. The more forceful, the more helpful, does the body become at such, and through such, experiences. Let these remain as sacred experiences, gathering more and more of same, but as such is given out, so does it come. How can I develop greater spiritual control over the mental body during meditations? The more that there is held that the mental and physical body is surrounded by, is protected by, that consciousness of the Master that gave, I will not leave thee comfortless, and the greater the physical can be submerged, the greater will be the activity of the spiritual forces in and through such bodies. What is the meaning of the dream I had regarding being handed a cup and spoon, and feeding people with spiritual food? As indicated, that it is necessary for much of that which may be given or measured out be in small doses, and not in a manner that would cause the individuals to become antagonistic to that which would be as truth. Know ye, no one finite mind may have all the truth. Please interpret the dream regarding the canaries which I healed. What relation to my work in the healing group? As has been given, the body may raise itself to those influences where the healing may come even as spoken, or laying on of hands. As the chirping, or as the words of those that would twitter, even as the canary, that make for those influences, that would hinder, or cause those of fear, doubt to rise. These once rid, in perfect understanding, and throwing aside doubt and all that would hinder, brings the closer walk with him. I saw each one on the prayer list as notes in music. Through our attunement and their seeking, the master musician, Christ, began to play the notes, and harmony reigned throughout. I felt this was an illustration of vibrations in healing. Is this how the healing takes place? Very beautiful illustration, but don't think it's all of it. No one mind may conceive all that may be done through the power of the master musician. For it may bud as the rose, it may be the song of the frog, or of any, even those that would be to self as those that would be grating vibrations, for the cricket on the hearth to self is obnoxious. But to some would bring harmony and peace, as home. Why am I told so often to be not afraid? It is I. For he will come to thee. Does this, I mean my elder brother Jesus, and shall I not know him when he appears to me? Ye shall know him, even as he knows thee, for he calls thee by name. Then, why should I be afraid? For the doubt and the fear lies innate in self, and the warning is given that this not overcome thee. Have I been able to raise the Christ consciousness in anyone? Oft. Just how is it meant that I should keep in the attitude of listening? Listening, even as they must have listened when he tarried in the mount, and were afraid when he came to them walking, as it were, upon the water. As self then listens, knowing that, as the heart is right in him, he may enter in. Just what method should I use in healing? As has been given, and as has been the experience of self, in raising the consciousness, in the silence, of those that the body or self would aid, even as it is done in self. As the experiences have been, so does the confidence grow in self in that direction. Confidence, then, is of the material or of the physical sense, while faith is an attribute of the soul and spiritual body. Can I use the method of laying on of hands? This may be developed in self, even as the vibrations may be raised in self and in others. When there is that impelling force that arises to do, by word or by act, or by that raising in self, act in that direction and manner. How can I lose myself in giving life? In becoming more and more conscious of that he gave in giving promise to many. In giving more and more a unison of purpose that thou doest and sayest day by day. What is the significance of the experience during my morning meditation, in which I was asked my name 3 times, and after each I answered, 560, very emphatically? The 3rd time so emphatically that it was heard by someone in the room. To whom was I talking? As there have oft been the experience of individuals being called by the mentors, or those guards of the various forces as manifest in the material world, so may the call come to one who has set self and body-mind to serve, that is called to service. So, in the experience, the body consciousness was called by him as would guide, direct, who is the way, the light, that leads to the proper conception of relationships in the various elements and elementals of life itself. A call from him, who called as, Martha, know ye not she hath chosen the better part? If during the healing meditations the name of an individual starts a distinct type of vibration, should one attempt to maintain this vibratory sensation during the whole of the meditation for that particular patient, or should there be some attempt made to raise such a sensation to a higher, as the backward and forward to the circular? Raise same to the circular, for, as has been given, This becomes more of the universal type of transmission to those that would become sensitive to those vibrations being sent out. What vibratory sensation might one expect to follow the circular sensation? As of passing into the presence of that which may materialize in voice, feeling, sight, consciousness of presence, and the like. Be not afraid, ever surrounding self with his presence of love, for he has given his angels charge concerning thee, that they bear thee up, that thou stumblest not when thou wouldst aid. What is the cause of the sensation I feel in my eyes at times during meditation? As is manifest by the activities of those that would bring healing to others, the healing of every sort must come first in self that it may be raised in another. This is the healing in self, with that raising of the vision that may heal in others. Please interpret and expand on the dream I had this morning around 5 o'clock. In those visions that came in this period, as those forces were manifest in the lives of the individuals that came to know the activating forces in their lives, so may we, as we magnify through the Christ consciousness, bring in our own experience that which will lighten the way. Even those shadows from those conditions that are of a secular nature overshadow many activities in others. Please explain the experience I had several weeks ago, in a dream. I seemed to be passing through various experiences. Someone pierced a needle in my forehead, then there seemed to be darkness all round me. I began crying out, my God, where art thou?" This is the body consciousness experience, mentally and physically, of that through which the Master passed in the hour of trial on the cross, and is a mental experience of the body or entity, or soul body, that is developing to those powers of the better ability for dissemination of the glory, the truth, the joy, the understanding that came with those experiences that are for the awakening to the greater abilities in anyone. Here we have Edgar Cayce's answer to one who was sorely plagued with self-doubts. Is what is holding me back physical or laziness? Rather that of indecision and contriteness. Purge thy mind, thy body. Make thyself one with him. Why do I not make a more continuous effort? Is thy purpose a single one? Or art thou seeking, without putting into practice that thou knowest? In what way can I best serve while in this body? Studying to show thyself approved unto him, not as an eye-servant, but as ye do it unto these that ye meet, as ye do it unto those in thine own house, as ye do it unto those that ye meet day by day. A smile, a cheery word, a hopefulness, optimistic, ever in him. For he is the way, he is the abundant supply, if ye but put thy trust in him. How can I correct the condition which holds me back? As has been indicated, enter into thine inner chamber with thy Lord, meet him there, seek and ye shall know. For he would speak with thee as thou wouldest with thy child. As thou as a mother lovest that which is of thee, of thine own body, of thine own blood, then knoweth thee not that as thou would be gentle, as thou wouldest be patient. Thy heavenly Father would be more patient with thee. Trust in him, speak oft with him. Why do I have a decided feeling against digging into the past? Thou hast remembered well that as was given. Remember Lot's wife. But rather know that what is necessary for thee will be given thee, of thy past, of thy present, of thy future. Are they not one in him? He is from the foundations of the world. He is. And as he has given, come and know ye me, and I will give thee that knowledge that thou hadst with me since the foundations of the world. Lo, he is nigh unto thee. Remember the vision thou art experiencing in the present. There is the decided differentiation between that some people call destiny, and that is making self one with the Father. For while law is love, love is law, and as healing is the contradiction of many man-made laws, and in line with, and contradictory to, laws that are universal. The last to be conquered is death itself. overcome, even as he overcame. So the injunction, heal even as Peter, that in his name may this be done. In his name give I thee that sought. He is the law. He is the destiny. He is the love. Hence, this consciousness of his presence must be the basis of all healing, for be not afraid, it is I must come to the group, as they make theirselves one in purpose. He that would know the way must be often prayer, joyous prayer, knowing he giveth life to as many as seek in sincerity to be the channel of blessing to someone. 4. Inasmuch as ye did a kindness, a holy word, a clothing in act as to one of these the least of my little ones, ye have done it unto me. Early in the morning call unto thy God, and in the evening forget not his love nor his benefits. Then, at that period when ye each are first aware, as ye awake, be still a moment, and know that the Lord is God. Ask that ye be guided this day, to so live that ye may stand between the living and the dead. In the evening as ye sit at meat, be still a moment. For there is greater power in being still before thy God than in much speaking. Again give thanks for the day and its opportunities. And so may ye, as seekers for divine guidance, be uplifted, and thus may ye hasten the day when war will be no more. The following is quoted from a letter written by Edgar Cayce, December 12, 1932. Often I have felt, seen and heard the Master at hand. Just a few days ago I had an experience which I have not even told the folk here. As you say, they are too scary to tell, and we wonder at ourselves when we attempt to put them into words, whether we are to believe our own ears, or if others feel we are exaggerating or drawing on our imagination. But to us indeed they are often that which we feel if we hadn't experienced we could not have gone on. The past week I have been quite out of the running, but Wednesday afternoon when going into my little office or den for the 4:45 meditation, as I knelt by my couch I had the following experience. First a light gradually filled the room with a golden glow, that seemed to be very exhilarating, putting me in a buoyant state. I felt as if I were being given a healing. Then, as I was about to give the credit to members of our own group, 281, who meet at this hour for meditation, as I felt each and every one of them were praying for and with me, he came. He stood before me for a few minutes in all the glory that he must have appeared into the three on the mount. Like yourself I heard the voice of my Jesus say, "Come unto me and rest." Prayer and meditation bring all of us into this perfect relationship to the light of the world, which first manifested when God said, "Let there be light." Let us seek this light by becoming a light to others. As Jesus said, "Come unto me, take my yoke upon you, and learn of me." We come to him through prayer and meditation. We take his yoke by yoking ourselves to others, in order to help them bear their loads. This makes every burden of the world lighter to carry. As he took upon himself the burden of the world, so must we take upon ourselves the burdens closest to us, those of our neighbor, our community, our nation, if we are truly to become his disciples. Only then are we able to truly know him and learn of him, for it is then that he and the Father abide with us. Edgar Cayce has said that every one of us must sometime, somewhere, learn to meditate. So why not now? The rewards are beyond measure, culminating in a glimpse of the glory that God has prepared for those who love his laws.